This second sequence is about being able to connect into feeling. So as you're working through the sequence, just make sure that you recognize what it is that your body's feeding back to your mind, because we're looking to be able to strengthen that connection that you're working with. As you move through the sequence, make sure that you've recognized what you feel as an individual rather than what I'm just telling you to feel. Because it's very important for you to recognize that the information your body's giving you is going to far exceed any information that I can give you through this video. Enjoy. Start by coming to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Just taking a moment here at the beginning of the practice, close your eyes and begin to deepen your breath. Take a moment just to separate yourself off from whatever else it is that you've been doing today and whatever else it is that you might have planned. Bring your full attention to you as you are at this moment, starting with the sensation of the breath. So as you inhale and exhale through the nose, filling and emptying the body, slow your breath down as much as is comfortable for you right now. Beyond the sensation of your breath, recognize how the rest of your body feels. So as you're sitting here on the mat, is there anything which is tight or tweaky? Anything which is calling out for your attention? Paying particular awareness to whatever it is that you've been working with before. So if you've got anything that's been tight or problematic for you, just being able to recognize how that feels here and now. And beyond the sensation of the breath, recognizing how you feel, what it is that you've brought onto the mat with you, the mental baggage that we all carry. Without getting lost in the story behind it, just recognize the frame of mind that you're working with today. And still breathing deeply, open your eyes. Unfold the legs and come into knee pile with the left leg on top. So taking the right foot to the outside of the left hip, and bring the left foot to the outside of the right hip, knees piled one on top of the other. If that's not comfortable, extend the right leg out straight and come into half knee pile instead. Now start by resting your right hand on your left knee. Then from there, take the peace fingers of your left hand and close the right nostril. Open the mouth and exhale, release the breath out. Slowly inhaling through your left nostril, fill the body up, lift the crown of the head up towards ceiling. Once you're full, close the left nostril, open the right, and exhaling slowly. Release the shoulders down away from the ears, but keep the heart lifted. Just repeating that process. Once you're empty, close your right nostril, open the left, inhale till you're full. Once you're full, close the left, open the right, and exhale till you're empty. Just close your eyes, following the flow of your own breath, recognizing the more subtle sensation of the breath here. As we're working with the single nostril breath, in this case Chandrabadana, the moon-piercing breath, recognize how the breath flows through the nose, against the back of the throat, and down into the lungs. When you're slowing the breath down in this way, it just makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to get into the subtleties of the breath. Makes it easier for you to be able to feel what it is that you're really doing here. At the end of your next exhale, release the left hand down and, still breathing deep as we transition, change to cross the legs. So, having the right leg on top in knee pile or half knee pile if that suits you better. Left hand on the right knee, peace fingers the right hand, close the left nostril. Close the eyes, open the mouth, exhale sharply out. Coming back for Surya Vedana, the sun-piercing breath. Inhaling through the right nostril. Fill the body, raise the chest high. And once you're full, close the right, open the left, exhale, release the breath out. Take your time. You're slowing the breath down. And because you're reducing the flow of the breath, it might be taking a little bit longer. as you're working with the single nostril breath, recognize that you're going to have one nostril that's easier for you to breathe through. So you have one nostril that's called a dominant nostril, and that changes around every 20 minutes. So every time you come back to this, you might find that there's one nostril which feels a little bit more open than the other, but that can switch between left and right. At the end of your next exhale, releasing the right hand down. Unfold your legs and coming into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together, have the heels comfortably close towards the hips and have the hands behind you so you can lift the chest up and bring the heart tall away from the hips again. Activate the feet. So you're pressing the heel and the ball of the feet into each other, spreading the toes gently apart. And from here, rocking onto your right palm, take the left hand onto the middle of the left thigh. Take a long inhale, draw the chest up. As you exhale, bend that left elbow, wrap the left shoulder down, and then start to push the left palm straight down towards the floor. Breathe. Feel for what's happening in the left hip and recognize that you're creating this. It's not just something that you happen to stumble across here. If you're happy to go stronger with that sensation in the left hip, then just apply some more pressure down through the left hand. If you feel it's a little too intense, then it's your responsibility to back away. But as you're working with this, you're the one that's in control here. Slow, steady breath, just helping to convince that left hip to release and unlock. Still keeping that left shoulder soft, because it's a lot easier for you to be able to really get into a detailed level of control for that opening in the left hip, rather than just straightening the left arm, going 100% here. Check your left palm is halfway between the left knee and the left hip. Have the fingers of that left hand pointing towards the left knee. Then inhale, telescope the ribs up. As you exhale, bend the right elbow, swing the heart over towards the right side of the mat. Then drive down and away through the left hand. So you're pulling your left thigh muscle away from the left hip. Breathe. As you're working with that traction in the thighs, you're pulling the thigh muscle towards that left knee. Feel for how this is a different sensation in the left hip here. Again, you're in control. So if it feels that you can go stronger, apply more pressure through that left hand. If you feel that you need to back away from that intensity, pull back. As you're working with that opening in the left hip, you're the one that's in control. Take a moment, just reconnect to the breath, reassure that left hip that everything's okay. Then inhaling, releasing the pressure from the left hand and coming back to center. Take that left hand behind you, pause, have a breath. Recognize what's different between your left hip and your right, given that you've been working on one and not the other. Before we come to the second side, without skipping stage one, bring the right palm to the middle of the right thigh, halfway between right knee, right hip. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, right elbow bent, tuck the right shoulder down, start to push right thigh straight down towards the floor. Breathe. As you're working here on the second side, you're still moderating the pressure down through that right palm, but allow yourself to be conscious of what it is that you feel in the right hip and how that feels similar or different to whatever it is that you had in the left. On your exhale, bending the left elbow, sweep the heart over towards the left side, push down and away to the right hand now. So pulling your right thigh away from the right hip. Start by being able to play with that intensity, recognize what it is that you're opening, how strong it feels good for you to go to here. Then nourishing that right hip with your full breath. Then inhaling, releasing the pressure down through your right hand, coming back to center. Bring your hands to the knees and pick the knees up. Bring yourself into a reclined position with your block or your alternative handy close beside you. Starting off, we're going to work with frog lifting through. So lay down, interlace the hands together tight. Bring the hands up to the top of the neck and the base of the skull. From here, bend the knees and bring the knees above the hips. Have the heels in line with the knees. Then spread the thighs as wide apart as is comfortable for you and take the heels with the knees there. Open the mouth, exhale everything out sharp. Take a slow inhale, fill the body up, reach the head and shoulders up off the floor, lift the elbows up towards ceiling. As you exhale, curling tailbone up. It's a small movement, but you want to be able to feel for your core switching on more strongly. As you inhale, listen. Keep the chest lifted up, but relax the pelvis down. Push the lower back down to the floor. As you exhale, curling tailbone up. Spread the thighs a little bit wider if that feels good for you. Pull the belly in tight towards the spine. And inhaling, relax the pelvis down. Keep lifting elbows towards ceiling. Keep working with your breath. So exhaling, curling tailbone up, keeping the shoulder blades lifted. Inhaling, relaxing the pelvis down. 2 more to go. Exhale, curl tailbone up, pull belly in tight. Inhaling, relaxing the pelvis back. And last time, exhaling, curling tailbone up, spread the thighs a little wider again, pull belly down, and inhale, chest and pelvis back. Lay the head down on the floor, hands to the thighs, push the legs together, and gently lower the feet down to the mat. Now, take your block and place it medium width in between the thighs, somewhere comfortably close to the pelvis. Have the heels shuffle back so that you can just about tickle the back of the heels on either side with your fingers. Then from here, flip the palms open on either side of the body, tuck the shoulders down away from the ears. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine, so you're facing up towards the ceiling. Take a long breath in. As you exhale, ground through your feet, tuck the tailbone up, lift the hips, and then in bridge, gently start to squeeze the block between the thighs. As you're working here in bridge pose with a block, keep the neck soft. So feel for the head resting gently on the floor. You're not pushing down through the head to try and lift the hips higher. And if you're comfortable being able to go a little more strong here in the pose, squeeze the block tight between the thighs and reach your knees towards the front of the room. Long, steady breath. Just as with bridge, you're still looking to be able to keep that length in the lower back. So that tuck, the tailbone cue, comes back each exhale. And making sure that you're conscious, aware of what it is that you're doing with that block between the legs here. So stay connected to feeling in the lower half of the body, particularly after the first few breaths when that becomes more intense. Make sure that you're not letting your mind drift away from what it is that you're feeling here. On your exhale, tucking tailbone up slowly, lower the hips back down to the floor. Remove the block out from between the legs, set to the side, and roll over onto your right side, keeping the neck relaxed. Press yourself back up to a seated position. Lift the right side of the head with your hand. And then coming onto all fours for dolphin one leg. So, start by tucking the back of the shirt into your pants. And then from here, bring the elbows down onto the floor. Check you've got space in front of your elbows to fit the hands on the mat. Then grab the biceps with the opposite hand. Choose your hand position, so hands clasped or palms flat. Neck relaxed, shoulders above the elbows, knees under the hips, toes tucked under behind. Long inhale. Reach the middle of the back up to ceiling. As you exhale, reach down through the forearms, bring the knees up and relax the neck. On your exhale, raise the left leg up as high as you need to be able to make the pose a comfortable challenge for you. Reaching back through the left heel, so feel for unlocking that left hip. And with each exhale, if it's available to you, lift that left heel a little higher.
Make sure you're still actively pressing down through the forearms, the fingers, the palms. And exhaling, releasing the left foot and the knees down to the floor.
Sit the body up for a moment, just roll the shoulders out, give them a little bit of TLC. Then from here, bring your elbows back down. Take hold of the biceps, bring the palms out flat. Shoulders above the elbows, neck soft, knees under the hips, and again, reach the space between the shoulder blades up towards ceiling with your inhale. Exhaling, ground through the forearms, lift the knees up, come to dolphin. When you're ready, exhale, float the right heel up and back. As you're working with the right leg raised, make sure you're still engaging down through the left heel. Feeling for that gentle stretch on the back of the left leg, the activation of the muscles on the back of the right. On your exhale, gently release the right foot and the knees down to the floor. Sit the body up and roll the shoulders out as you come standing towards the front of the mat. So starting off, feet grounded, body upright, tailbone gently tucked so you can feel for that length in your lower back, shoulders soft down away from the ears. Running through 4 classic suns. Starting off, going through the first one together. Exhaling, press palms into prayer position in front of your heart. Inhale slowly, reach the arms up, draw the shoulders down the back. As you exhale, bring the hands down, then hinge at the hips, fold forwards over straight legs. Long inhale, step the left foot back, left knee down, top of the left foot on the mat and reach up through to lunge. As you exhale, hands come down, stepping back to plank, slowly float all the way down to the floor. Top of the feet on the mat, hands forwards 12 inches. Inhale, reach the heart forwards as you lift in cobra, feel for that traction in your lower back. Exhale, still pulling the heart forwards. Lower down, bring the hands back, push back through to downward dog. Take a long inhale, reaching hips up, heels down. Then exhaling, stepping left foot forwards, right knee down, grab the left ankle, bring the left foot to the front of the mat, and inhale, reach up through to lunge. Exhaling, taking the hands down, stepping the right foot forwards, fold over straight legs and relax the neck. Inhale, raise the body up, lift the arms high. Exhaling, tuck tailbone, hands together in front of the heart. Taking 3 more classic suns, really focusing on being able to recognize what it is that you feel as you're flowing through the sequence. So exhaling, hands together in front of the heart. Inhaling, off we go. Once you're done standing at the front of the mat, taking another couple of deep breaths, just feeling for the flow of the breath moving in and out of the body. Might be different now given that we've been doing some suns. I'm going to be running through a sun B to come into our first two pose vignette. That's going to be lunge and pigeon. So exhaling, press the palms together in front of the chest. Inhaling, bend the knees, reach the arms up and sink the hips in chair. Exhaling, fold forwards over straight legs. Inhale, reach the heart forwards, lengthen out the lower back. And exhaling, bend the knees, plant the hands flat and step or jump back to plank. Gently lower knees and chest to the floor. Shoulders pull back. Inhale, reach the heart forwards, lift to cobra, keep the elbows bent. Exhale, still pulling forwards, lower the chest, drive through to downward dog. Take a breath here in downward dog. Then on your next exhale, step the left foot forwards, lower the right knee down, pat it if you need to, and adjust the position of your left foot. Raise the chest up, brace the hands on the left thigh, coming down into lunge. Take a long inhale. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone down and really exaggerate that. Roll out the lower back and then start to sink the hips towards the left heel. That way you're focusing the stretch on the front of the right hip rather than pressing together the vertebrae of the lower back. Breathe. If you're comfortable here, then you feel free to keep the hands on the left thigh, but if you can, reach the arms up. As you're working in the lunge, for a stronger stretch, reach the left knee further forwards. But the hip flexors tend to be quite resistant. They need a little bit more care and attention. So stay connected to what it is that you feel happening in the right hip. If the hips release, go deeper. If you're finding that they're being a little bit more hesitant to let go, feel free to back away from that intensity, just enough to be able to give it the space and the time it needs to be able to release the tension it's holding. On your exhale, releasing the hands down for pigeon. So bring the hips back above the right knee and move your left foot over to the right side of the mat. Flex the toes of the left foot back to the shin, lower your left knee down and slide the right knee back so you can bring the hips down to the floor. Now as you're working with pigeon pose, if that right thigh starts to twist out, you want to be able to bend the left knee, keeping it tucked over to the left side of the mat so you can keep the hips facing towards the front of the mat here. If your left hip is off the floor, grab a block or whatever support you need, wedge the block tight underneath your left thigh. Then bring the chest forwards, lower the heart down, pop a fist underneath your forehead, spread the elbows wide and relax. After the first few breaths in pigeon, if you'd like to go stronger, reach the front of your right hip down towards the floor, but feel for what that changes in the left hip. If it's worth it, keep it. If you don't like it, feel free to let that go. On your inhale, raise the chest, walk the hands in, move the block out of the way, and when you're ready, exhaling, step back to plank, lower gently to the mat. Shoulders pull back, inhale, reach up through cobra. As you exhale, pull the heart forwards and lower down. Drive back through to downward dog, ready for the second side. On your exhale, bring the right foot forwards, left knee down, adjust the position of the right foot, the left knee as you need to. Hands brace on the right thigh. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, round out the lower back. Tuck the tailbone down. Sink the hips towards the right heel. And from here, it's your choice. Hands braced on the right thigh or raising the arms up. Long, steady breath, just helping to convince the hips that you're still in control. And recognizing what you're feeling in this left hip, whether you can go deeper, whether you need to pull back. Also aware of what it is that you find in the front of the left hip and how that compares to what you found in the front of the right. On your exhale, releasing the hands down. Lift the hips and translate through to pigeon. Take as much time as you need. Give your right hip support if that feels good for you. When you're ready, lowering the chest.
Start with the first couple of breaths just relaxing. Feeling for that opening around the right hip. Then, if it feels appropriate for you, push the front of the left hip down towards the floor. So just finding the left hip, finding the floor, bringing the two closer together. And remember, when you're working with these variations, you only keep them for as long as you need to, as long as it serves you inside of the pose. So if you start to feel that the stretch is too strong, just relax that left hip back up. And inhaling, lifting the head up, walking the hands in beneath the shoulders. Step back through to plank. Exhaling, knees, chest down to the floor. Roll the shoulders back and inhale. Pull the heart forwards, lift up through to cobra. Exhale, bring the heart forwards and lower down. Press back through to downward dog. On your inhale, stepping left foot forwards between the hands. Turn the right foot out, stand up. Coming to a warrior two base. So, left foot at 12 o'clock, toes of the right foot slightly forwards to the right heel. Tailbone tucked, clasp the hands together, palm to palm behind the back of the pelvis. Then roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Just keep the left knee above the left heel. Inhale, fill the body, lift the chest. As you exhale, reach the chest forwards, lower the heart down and relax the spine. Include the neck in that, so let the crown of the head move down towards the floor. From here, play with lifting the arms up away from the back of the pelvis. And with your breath, inhaling, draw the heart away from the hips. Exhale, relax deeper into the fold. If you're working with the arms up and that's not comfortable for the shoulders, just lower the hands down some or all the way to the back of the pelvis. While you're working here in the fold, make sure that you're still actively engaging the outside edge of that right foot down against the mat. So feel for the switch on in the inner right thigh as you push that right foot down. And left knee still above the left heel, so you're still reaching the left knee forwards here. On your inhale, release the hands to the back of the pelvis, raise the chest up. Still breathing strong, take your right hand onto the right hip, bring your left forearm across the left thigh, just behind the left knee. Extended warrior variation, so ground through the left arm, lift the chest up. Exhaling, roll the right shoulder up and back, snake the right arm round behind the body, grabbing hold of the left thigh or whatever it is that happens to be available. So back of the shirt, back of your pants works just fine. Inhaling. Lengthen the heart forwards, keep reaching left knee to the front of the mat. As you exhale, relax left ear over left shoulder. Breathe slow and steady. With that right forearm wrapped around behind you, feel for the way the breath moves down through your core. Gently flex open the fingers of the left hand so you're stretching out left palm, left wrist, just because you can. As you're working here with this passive neck stretch, feel for the way that the stretch starts to change. And inhaling, release whatever the right hand is holding on to. Exhaling, hands down to the front of the mat, back to plank, gently lower down to the floor. Shoulders wrap back away from the ears. Inhale, telescope ribs forwards, raise the heart up with your back muscles. Exhaling, bring the heart forwards and lower down. Press back through to downward dog. On your inhale, take the right foot in between the hands, send the left foot out and adjust. Toes of the left foot, forwards of the left heel, heel to arch alignment. Tailbone tucked, hands clasped together behind the back of the pelvis. Just nice and simple. Clap, interlock, roll the shoulders down. Take a slow breath in, raise the heart up. As you exhale, relax the heart forwards. Find out where the hips wants the chest to move to. Relax the neck. Play with lifting the arms away from the back of the pelvis. Again, make sure that you're making a conscious decision about where you put the arms, whether you're happy having them lifted, whether you'd be happier with the hands lower down. On your inhale, lower the hands, raise the chest, left hand to left hip. Exhaling, right forearm down across right thigh. Lift the chest away from the right leg, tuck the shoulders back away from the ears. Then left shoulder up and back as you snake left arm round behind you, grab something. And from here, relaxing right ear over right shoulder or chin down to right armpit. Still tucking tailbone down, still pushing right knee forwards. And inhaling, releasing your left hand. As you exhale, bring the hands down to the front of the mat, stepping back through to plank, gently lower, knees, chest, all the way down to the floor. Top of the feet on the mat, hands beneath or in front of the shoulders as you wish. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale, bring the heart forwards, lower the chest, press back through to downward dog. Now from here, we're going to come to warrior one on the ball of the back foot. So leave the right foot where it is, pointing straight forwards. Inhaling, left foot to left hand, raise the body up. Take the hands onto the hips. Now start with the right knee slightly soft. We're going to straighten that right leg in a moment, but it just makes it easier for you to be able to get a strong tuck in the tailbone. So inhale, draw the chest up. As you exhale, use the hands. Pull the back of the pelvis down, reach the left knee forwards, push the right heel back, but keep tucking that tailbone. So you've got the lower back neutral with the sacrum, the back of the pelvis. You can check that just by putting the back of your right hand on the joint between the spine and the pelvis. Just recognizing that that's flat. You're not sticking the bum out behind you. From here, you push the left knee forwards and the right heel back as much as you need to be able to release the right hip. So just like lunge, you're in control. Finding that tug of war position between left knee forwards and right heel back to open and release the right hip here. Once you found a good stretch, inhale, sweep the arms up, exhaling, roll the shoulders down away from the ears. On your next exhale, release left hand to left hip. Lean forward, stretching towards the front of the room with your right hand, then bring the right palm down beneath right shoulder. If that's tricky for you to maintain, feel free to grab your block, pop that underneath the right palm instead. From here, right foot stays where it is. You're still pushing back through that right heel, left knee still above left heel. Inhale, telescope the ribs forwards, and exhale, rolling the chest open, coming into easy twisting warrior. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, right shoulder or right wrist, gently lower the right knee down, turn this into easy twisting lunge instead. Similarly, if the left shoulder doesn't feel good with the left arm raised, just bring the hand back to the hip. As you're working with your twist, feel for the way the tension in the twist in the back of the body connects with the back of the left hip, maybe even the outside of the left thigh if your IT band tight. If you're comfortable going deeper, inhale, reach the chest forwards, and as you exhale, rotate the torso rather than twisting through that left arm. So the focus is the twist in the spine here, rather than being able to push that left arm back and getting an unstable opening in the chest. On your exhale, releasing the hands down to the front of the mat, inhaling back through to plank, and exhale gently, knees, chest down to the floor. Inhaling up through to your variation of cobra. Exhale, bring the heart forwards. Lower down, push back through to downward dog. Ready for the second side. On your inhale, right foot to right hand, raise the body up. Left knee soft, tuck the tailbone down. Then pushing right knee forwards and left heel back. Find the opening on the left hip that feels good for you. Once you're there, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, keep the shoulders soft. On your exhale, right hand to right hip, lean forwards, reaching through the left arm, plant the left palm beneath the left shoulder. If you know you want to lower the left knee down, then feel free to do that now. Inhaling, draw the chest forwards. Exhale, open the heart towards the right side of the room, take your twist. And from there, release the right arm out in line with the right shoulder if that's good for you. As you're working here in your twist over to the right, recognize if there's any strong difference between this and your twist over to the left. And on your next exhale, releasing the hands down to the front of the mat, step back through to plank. Then gently lower knees and chest. Inhale, shoulders back, one last cobra. Exhale, come down and push through to downward dog. And gently lower the knees down. Come into a reclined position. Working with reclined Baddha Konasana before we come to Shavasana. So lay down flat, bring your knees up towards your chest, then split the knees apart, bring the soles of the feet together. Reach up if you can. Wrap the hands around the outside edge of both feet. If that's not available, take your hands and grab hold of the shins instead. From here, still working with your strong breath. As you exhale, draw the heels down towards your hips. And if that's comfortable for you, you can go a little bit deeper, gently pushing your knees towards the front of the room. As you're working here, neck soft, back of the head resting on the mat, shoulders down away from the ears. On your inhale, releasing the feet, laying them down and adjusting yourself into a comfortable position for Shavasana, whatever that means for you. So starting off, just shuffle the body around, tuck the shoulders down away from the ears, close the eyes. Begin by releasing your breath. Just inhale till you're full, open the mouth and let go. Do that a couple more times. When you're ready, just allowing the breath to relax. And then taking a moment to scan down through your body, recognizing if there's any area which doesn't feel comfortable, anything that you can adjust. Just so you can spend the next few moments in Shavasana being able to stay connected to the sensation of the body. So feeling down through your passive body, recognizing what that sensation of relaxation actually means to you. So just going to be here for a few minutes and I'll bring you back to the room when we're done.
Begin to deepen your breath. Start to stretch open your fingers, your palms and your wrists, your toes, your feet and your ankles. And from here, shuffle the heels in towards your bum. Bring the knees up towards the chest and wrap your arms around the legs. Gently rock yourself from left to right. Then release the right hand down by the right side of the head. As you exhale, rock over onto your right side. Then, keeping the neck soft, press yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Right palm lifts the right side of the head. With your breath strong, bring your hands into prayer position in front of the heart, chest upright, shoulders soft. Take a moment. Namaste.